Research Now. Thank you. Welcome back to Research Now Live. I'm your host, Sadia Corey, and please join me in welcoming Charles Kennedy from ABC Television. Hi, Charles. So, Charles, you've been with ABC Disney for 3.5 years.
Right.
Senior VP of Research. What does your day look like? What do you do?
It looks very busy. In fact, I took a red eye. We were just meeting with the Academy Awards to go over their performance, how they did, the demographics, the viewer feedback. And so each day is really about getting the voice of the viewer into the decisions that are being made at programming, at the scheduling level, at the development level.
Very cool. So, in the research, going back to the research, how do you see it impacting your business in the next 2 to 5 years?
Well, you only need research if the world is changing, and because the world is changing exponentially now, change is accelerating, the need for research gets bigger. What's interesting is in the past you needed research that looked backwards and told you, well, this is the past, so it's probably going to be the future.
Right.
Now the researchers we need to be researching the future. How are things going to change? How are people going to react to business models that don't even exist yet?
Fortune telling.
Yeah, and there's a great quote, which is, the future is already here, it's just not evenly distributed. So at one point, Gordon Gekko was there with his brick cell phone, and we were all going to be there in the future. So we're all constantly out there looking and saying, well, where are those future people now? How are they living? Then will the rest of us follow along?
Excellent. So you must have seen a number of different consumer behavior changes. What are some of the most interesting you've seen in the past year or so?
The biggest one for us is television unleashed. That TV is becoming unleashed from time. You can watch it when you want to. It's being unleashed from place because you can take it with you. And it's being unleashed from device, where it's up in the cloud and you can pull it back in. And so for us, the question is, we know the viewers are going to go there. How do we create business models that will allow us to sustain great programming in that world as well?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So one trend that you think is worth watching, and let us know what you think is interesting about that trend too.
Sure. So the most interesting phenomenon to me is the marathoning that's going on now. So I get excited about a show. My daughter, she's in college, and her friends are now watching Suburgatory, which is this fun little comedy.
Yeah.
And she hadn't heard about it until 12 episodes in. So she comes home for spring break, and she's watching episode after episode after episode. And then she gets all excited about it, but she's slightly out of sync with where I've been because I've been watching it each week, and she's ahead of sync of where people haven't been watching it. And so there's a different emotional component to watching a show, all these shows in a row, and we still don't fully understand what the value is and how you move people to take on that experience, and then most importantly, how for us do we monetize and make sure that we get credit and advertisers have an opportunity to be there when that marathoning is taking place. A little bit about you. Sure.
A lot of people have a bucket list, whether it's official or not. What would you say is the top 3 things that you'd like to do?
Well, one of them is I'm about a third of the way through a master's degree in future studies.
Oh, wonderful.
And I'd like to finish that, and then the goal would be to be on a cruise ship that goes around the world, and I get to lecture each day on the future. Where's it going, and what it means for all of us. So that's number 1 on my bucket list. Number 2 is I surf, and eventually I'd like to get a real wave that I can be inside and have that tubular experience as they talk about it in California, that gnarly kind of thing. So we'll see.
Excellent. Now, do you tweet? Do you have a Twitter account?
I have tweeted, but I don't have a lot worthwhile to tweet about. But if I could have any tweet account on there that currently isn't on there, I've been thinking about that. And actually, I follow a lot of politics. I follow a lot of international stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to have Kim Jong-un, the new dictator of North Korea.
Yeah.
And, you know, what goes through his mind? What's his day like? Well, okay, suppress the masses, but make sure we get some more warheads. I mean, how do you go through that process? I'd love to be inside the mind of somebody who's in this bizarre position of a hereditary kleptocracy and see what goes through their head. So just for kicks.
That would be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us. It's
You're
fun
welcome.
to get to know you. I want to give you a little thank you gift for your
all right.
time.
Great.
Do stick around.
Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Very welcome. Charles Kennedy, everybody. Stick around for more Research Now Live.